This episode is sponsored by the Slaying Self-Doubt Prayer Journal. Over the past 4 years, I have had the opportunity to help over 30 women identify, accept, and take action in the parts of their lives where they feel stuck. My heart's desire is to do that with every woman I come in contact with, but the truth is that's not realistic. So instead, I created a prayer journal that goes through that same journey. The Slaying Self-Doubt Prayer Journal is designed for you to dig deep and answer questions that will pull out where you are stuck on your journey. The Slaying Self-Doubt Prayer Journal consists of 6 sections of journal prompts and areas for reflections for when you want to dig a little deeper and just take your thoughts to another level. Whether it takes you 6 weeks or 6 months to complete, I promise you will not regret it. Head on over to my website at www.feliciawallace.com and select the books tab to make your purchase. If you are ready to find your fears and slay them, go to www.feliciawallace.com, select books, and get your copy today. You're listening to the Slaying Self-Doubt podcast with Coach Felicia, where we empower Black women to overcome their doubts, fears, and insecurities in order to give birth to their God-given purpose. Join me and sometimes some of my friends on our journey as we remind you that you are not alone. I'm Felicia Wallace, and together we will find our fears and slay them. Welcome back to another episode of the Slaying Self-Doubt podcast. I am here with Kat Dunn from Kat the Coursebuilder. How are you, Kat? How are you?
I am fantastic, Coach Felicia. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. So we got connected through somebody else. And so I would love for you to be able to introduce yourself to my audience, tell them a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
Sure. So Kat Dunn. I hail from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I've lived in Atlanta, Georgia for a very, very long time. And we talked a little bit, and I was sharing that journalism was my very first career. And so that would play a role in my journey along the way as an instructional designer. And I'll tell you that when I started working as a corporate trainer after rehabilitating from journalism, they had me traveling a lot. I was out on Sunday, back on Friday, out on Sunday, back on Friday. And it was just too much. And I felt like if I was going to have like a quote unquote life, I was going to have to get off the road, but I didn't know how to get off that hamster wheel because at that point I had a lifestyle. I was footloose, fancy free. I had a lot of money in the bank. And I was just like, okay, how am I going to quit this good government job? It wasn't government, but you know what I mean? How am I going to quit this good corporate job, and get off this hamster wheel. And I just didn't feel like I had a way to do it. And so I was really looking for a way out, but a way to stay in, so to speak, like a way out, but a way to stay in. And I sort of found that on the 3rd floor of my building, because on the 3rd floor of the building I worked out of was a department where the people got to stay home some of the time. Like they got to work from home. And I was like, well, how do they do that? Right. And back then, all that work from home stuff was kind of new. Yeah. And I just knew I wanted to do it. I didn't know what they was. I don't know if they was digging ditches. It didn't matter to me. I just wanted to do what they were doing. And so just so happens that department was the instructional designers. They were the ones who were creating the trainings that I was actually giving. Oh, and wow. So I was like, okay, well, how you do that? And so somebody down there took me under his wing and was like, I'm going to teach you what I know. And so, and that's what he did. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it because I'm just a teacher at heart. And really understanding some of the mechanics behind teaching adult learners was really fascinating for me. So long story short, I already had a master's degree in business. So I went back to school and got another master's degree in instructional design and teaching with technology, because I really wanted to understand this and I wanted to get the degree because, at that time, I don't know about you, but my parents told me to get a good education, get a good job, things you want, right? So the more degrees you got, like I got more degrees than a thermometer. I mean, it makes no sense. It really does. So I got like 2 master's degrees and all this now, but it afforded me to be able to do what? Work on the 3rd floor. Right. And so there I was, working in the instructional design department, and I got to do those things. And so really what it afforded me to do was to was to have time freedom back in my life. I wasn't driven by, I got to be traveling, I got to be on the road all the time. And it allowed me to do those things. And so over the years, it became even more, I had even more control over my own life. But here's the deal. I still was in that corporate space, and I still felt like I was compromising the life I wanted at that time, because how many of us know, right, that what you wanted then is not necessarily what you want now.
Exactly.
And it changes. So there I was, okay, now I had the husband, now I had the baby, but now I want to stay home with them. Like, I don't want to be gone all the time and all of this, right? So now I had to make yet another adjustment. And so that's when I decided that actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me just tell the truth. Let me just stop lying. Here's the truth. The truth is that I had no interest in social media. I had no interest in any of the things that were gonna like how to make money with like using your phone and all that. That was the furthest thing from me, because I'm a true Gen Xer. I'm like be home by when the street lights come on type of Gen Xer. I'm a ride my skateboard type Gen Xer, right? I'm that kind, right? So I'm a Pac-Man Gen Xer. So we did not grow up with all that stuff. So all of it was kind of weird and hocus pocusy, and I just thought it was for the young people type of thing. And my girlfriend said one day, she said, "Kat, have you ever heard of Periscope?" And I said, "Ain't that the thing that come out the submarines?" And she said, "Girl, no, it's this new thing where you can go live." And I was like, "You lost me at going live."
And that is old school right now, because is anybody even, it is now, right? Like, is anybody even on still Periscope?
No, Periscope is gone with the dinosaurs, honey. Okay. But back then it was the latest, greatest thing, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly, but that's how she got me on Periscope. I had no intention of teaching people how to do course building. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a thing? I didn't know, because I was in the corporate space. So I was very much removed from what people were doing in entrepreneurship. And so one day we were on there. Long story short, she got me on there, and we were talking about being wives and mothers and where to go with your kids and stuff. It had nothing to do with business. And one day we were talking, and people were like, "Well, what do y'all do?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I help people. I build courses. I'm an instructional designer." And she was like, "I do this, blah, blah, blah." And then next thing I know, something was happening. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what sliding up in your DMs meant. I thought sliding up in your DMs was something real, real disgusting. I was like, my husband don't even slide up in my DM, child. You ain't. I didn't know what that was. And listen, my girlfriend was like, "Listen, no, they trying to get information." I was like, "Oh, well, if that's the case, okay." So I noticed that more and more people were asking me about that, as opposed to asking me about Chuck E. Cheese. So I was like, all right, well, maybe I can help a few people. Long story short, I said, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I don't understand this whole online business thing, but I know how to build courses. So I'm gonna put a course out there. I don't even think anybody's gonna buy it. Like, you know what I mean? Talk about self-doubt. Like I was just like, ain't nobody gonna buy this thing. Like, seriously, because at that time, back in 2015, I still didn't realize course building was a thing, or it was becoming a thing back then. And so I was like, anybody. And then I caught myself pricing it so that nobody would even buy. Yeah. So
when I tell you right now, you are like all the things, because that they all know, listening to this, the next question is how does self-doubt show up in your journey? And as you're telling this story, all of those things are like leading up to how it entered into this transition. But I love, so the first thing is that as you're telling your story, I'm like, you started doing something. Like, we don't necessarily know how point A, or the first thing we do, is leading to the next thing that we're supposed to do in a different season of our lives, right? Like, you were just like, I'm just trying to get to the third floor. Like, there's nothing about entrepreneurship that is on my radar. I just need time at home. Before, working from home was a thing, because, now everybody's doing it. And you used to be envious of people like, what do you mean? You got a telework day? Like every week, every Friday you get to work.
How you do that?
Right. And so you literally starting that is what catapulted you into what you're doing full time. Like
Yes.
that is so crazy. So, but I love the way that sometimes we don't recognize what's happening in our regular jobs or in the beginning that we don't understand is going to be the thing that we use to be able to create the life that we want for ourselves later on down the line. So how has self-doubt showed up in your journey? If you've been listening to this podcast or following me on social media for a while and you're ready to start your journey to healing, or you're ready to confront your doubts and insecurities, there are 3 ways I can help. First, you can download the journal prompt from my website. Use this as a guide to get back on track with where God is calling you. Secondly, you can go to my website and purchase the Slaying Self-Doubt Prayer Journal. Using this prompt and journal will pull out where you are stuck on your journey. These questions will force you to dig deep and find your fears. Lastly, if you're ready to invest in your healing journey and work directly with me, book a 30-minute connection call with me today. This allows us to see if we are a good fit for each other. So head on over to my website, www.feliciawallace.com, to do one or all 3 of these. That's www.feliciawallace.com. Now, back to the show.
Yeah. So self-doubt has showed up in every stage of my journey. It showed up this morning. I was like, hey, and it was like, hey, it shows up every day.
Yeah.
And really it's a matter of how do you manage it, right? So at the time, I told you that I priced my course at a price that I didn't even think people were going to purchase it at. I priced it like $500. And back then, a course for $500, that was like a lot of money. You know, I was like, ain't nobody gonna buy this course. And then 11 people bought it. And I was like, boom, crushed, all that doubt crushed. I was like, what? Are you serious? So that is so allowing yourself, I think, to be surprised and to be excited about things. And that is what made me think, okay, maybe, just maybe I could make something of this. I wasn't sure yet. And so there was self-doubt right there because, and I don't know if it was so much self-doubt, it was just doubt in general. It was just like a general hazy doubt, like a cloudy day, I was like, and then I had doubt because really it showed up with the technology piece, because while I had to use technology for my job and for building courses and that sort of thing, I was totally out of my element with technology for business. Totally out of my element. And I didn't understand it. And so it's very intimidating when you don't understand a landing page from an opt-in page and how it all works together.
Ciao.
And so I was I was like, whoa, but I'm gonna tell you something that I did have. And I think that these 2 things are really critical in overcoming self-doubt. At least it was in my case.
Okay.
2 things, 2 major things. I'm not gonna say they were the only things, but the 2 major things. One is a natural competitiveness. And when I say competitiveness, I don't mean like against other people. I mean like something inside of you that says, I can do that.
Yeah.
That small, still voice that be like, you know what? I just need to know how to do it. But if I know how to do it, I can do that.
Yeah.
Where you see it and you're just like, you know what? I see what so you know what? I know I can do better. I know I can do this. Like I'm meant for more. I'm meant for greater.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by natural competitiveness in terms of telling yourself that, hey, I can. There's more for me. I can do this, right? So a natural competitiveness, and number 2 is a natural curiosity. I started off my career as a journalist, as I said, and so I've been curious all my life, and so I think you have to be curious not only about how the world works, but you also have to be curious about your own life. You have to be curious about the possibilities. You have to at least be curious about what's outside of that box and not just in the box that somebody told you you're supposed to be in. My mother said I was supposed to be a teacher. I was supposed to be in the classroom. I come from a long line of teachers, and I was supposed to do that too. And I kicked and screamed and said, ain't no way I'm gonna teach people. And now I'm teaching like,
I was getting ready to say, what are you doing?
Tens of thousands of people all over the world. But here's the irony, Coach Felicia. My mom has no clue what I do. Like, she's like, what the hell? That is not teaching. She's like, no, I'm like, yes, it's teaching. She's like, I said, you know what? Never mind. You know
Yeah.
what? You know what? It's all good. It's
In
all
her mind,
good.
in the traditional sense, and talking about like how people, and I'm a Gen Xer too, so I understand how like our parents and the generations before us kind of box us into this good government job. I
That's
got a
right.
job with benefits.
That's
You need something
right.
that's going to give you that you can work all the way up until you 55.
So-called security,
Yeah, so
right?
that you have all these things. And what I love about, I think even our generation, some of us are starting to catch on to say that's not the only thing that we can do. Like, why is it only this? And so when you say even the curiosity, it's one of the things I teach my kids, that I say, try it all. Like, you don't have to just pick one thing. You say, what are you going to be when you grow up? And then, you say, oh, I could be a doctor, I could be a lawyer, I could be this. You think about that. And then somebody tells you, well, you got to pick one job. And then you just like, well, I'm going to pick this one. And then that seems to be your
Right.
guiding light, when that's not even where your heart is taking you. And so I tell
Right.
my kids, try it. If it don't work, you don't like it. If you would not do it for free, don't do it. And that's something that my
Absolutely.
pastor has always said, like, your purpose, when you're burdened with something to do something, you would show up every day for free. and
Absolutely.
and nobody, like, you just, it's in you. Versus if you keep going to this job and you like, I'm going for the paycheck, I'm going for the
Right.
benefits, I'm
Right.
going for the air quotes stability and the
Right.
security of it all, right?
Right.
So
Right.
no, yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, the curiosity, I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So I was curious about the what if. Like, what if this was a real thing? So what I did was I literally sat down and said, okay, how much money do I need to bring in so that my husband don't look at me side eye? I mean, straight up,
That's
because
real. That is
we got
real.
like a whole mortgage, we got a kid, we got cars, we got Xfinity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And ain't nobody trying to give up none of that. So I need gas in my car.
Right.
So I said, how much do I have to bring in to keep things going, to pay my half so that my family doesn't suffer behind
Mm-hmm.
this while I try to build this? So I came up with my number and I said, okay, if I could sell 11 courses at $500 once, I could do it again.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could do it again. How many times I gotta do this a month in order to, okay, I got this, okay, I gotta go. Okay, cool. And I still didn't understand the whole social media thing. I still didn't get it. I
Yeah.
still did not fully grasp it. And I think that's part of it, right? Is not necessarily having all the knowledge and all the pieces,
Mm.
just saying, you know what? If I put one foot in front of the other, I'm going to figure this thing out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I set out to figure it out. That's for sure. And that helped me to get over self-doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is good. I know my audience is going to say, she must have this written down somewhere, but I swear, every single time I record an episode, no matter when it airs, the
Yeah.
recording is right on time for me. Right. And so that was a confirmation of me, for me to just continue to put one foot in front of the other. Right. One of the things that you just said was, a lot of times we want to know so many things before we move, right?
Yeah.
I need to know this. I need to know that. I need to
Right.
figure it all out before I even go forward. And you're saying, just go with the knowledge that you have, because as you'll continue, you'll learn those things along the way. You say you didn't understand social media then. I'm sure you got it now, or somebody would have come along the way to be able to help you in that space. But a lot of times when self-doubt sets in and we just like, well, I don't have all the information, I'm gonna just sit right here until it comes to me. It ain't usually that doesn't work.
It's so true. It's so true, because when here's the thing, we tell babies, you can walk, you can do it, right? Babies don't have a clue. Okay. But here you are, big and grown, 8 feet taller than them, telling them they can walk, they can do
Yeah.
it, right? We have to have the faith of a child. We have to have
Yes.
the faith of a child. We have to just know with a smile on our face. Look, they be smiling and giggling,
Mm-hmm.
falling down, tumbling over, and they still get up and they do it again, right? And so we have to have that same, I think, just childlike faith
Yeah.
that we're gonna combine our faith and our works, and something is going to come to life, and we're
Yeah.
going to combine all those biblical principles, speak life into it. Don't speak death into your business.
Yes.
Don't, you have to be really, I think that's really key too, in terms of overcoming self-doubt, because if you think about it, it really has nothing to do with you personally. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
self thing. So if you step outside of self, then all you're left with is doubt, right?
Yeah.
So how do we overcome just doubt in general? Well, when you have those little wins every single day, give yourself opportunities to win every day.
Yeah.
Some people just they don't give themselves an opportunity to win, and so they automatically start out losing.
Oh,
So you
that's a
have to,
word.
yeah.
That is a word. That is a word right there.
I was like, listen, so I try my best, even in the times, like, I mean, it's really kind of weird now, because Coach Felicia, I really am one of those people who started out their business with zero. I didn't have, my husband doesn't do something like where he makes, $500,000 a
Yeah.
year. He's not some high price, I love what he does, because of what he does, he's able to help me in my business. He's an IT engineer, so he makes a pretty good salary, but nothing to where we're going to be able to quit our jobs and do,
Right.
I can't
Yeah.
stay home and just chill and do the living room. Oh, what are you doing today? The living room.
Right.
I can't, like,
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. But, so we were okay. So we've gone from that to a $1 million plus business a year. And just, what is it? 21,
Yeah.
get right going to 22. And it didn't take us that long.
Yeah.
But that's where we sit right now. We have over 20 employees. We, have clients all over the world, and people are like, well, how in the world did you go? Because some people have been following us since Periscope. Yes. Oh my God. Some people have been following since Periscope, and they remember when we were sitting outside of Gladys Knight Chicken and Waffles doing reviews, right? They remember that, right?
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with what I do now.
Yeah.
And so, when I say give yourself an opportunity to win, you win by the witness. Let me tell you what I mean by that. You win by the witness. Not you witnessing, someone else witnessing.
Yeah.
Okay. So giving yourself an opportunity to win is giving somebody the opportunity to witness on your behalf. See, when you help somebody, transform, when you help somebody get from their point A to their point B, they are now a witness.
Yes. Yeah.
Let me tell you about
you about to preach this morning.
Let me tell you about Coach Felicia. Let me tell you, see, you win by that. See, if you are not helping enough people, then you don't have enough witnesses on your behalf. Because see, it's not about what they say when you're in the room. It's about what they're saying when you're not in the room. It's about what the witness is saying on your behalf. And that is how, that's how you win. Because that's going to come back to you, pressed down, shaken together, running over.
Yeah.
Because you helped somebody, right? They're going to witness, and they're going to witness to not just one person. Then that person's going to witness, and that person's going to witness. And next thing you know, you got people doing what? Sliding up in your DMs.
Yeah. That's a word, y'all. Like in real life, what came up for me when you said that is that people are watching, right? And so when people are watching and you're doing your work and you're intentional about doing your work, those people will do the work for you to get you where you need to be, right? And that's the one part of it. The other part of it is that it builds your confidence when people are witnessing, because when you hear those things and you're saying, oh, that may not even been intentional what I was doing, but this person sees me. They see what it is that I'm doing. They see how I'm moving. And then it's a reminder that that's how you're showing up in the world, even if you don't see it in yourself. And so, that gave me goosebumps. I'm gonna just.
Well, what's so beautiful about that, Coach Felicia, that social media now gives you an opportunity to catch people watching. So you can go on Facebook and send a DM and you see who's watching you.
Yeah.
So you can see how many views you got. Oh, I caught you watching. So you watching.
Yeah.
See, social media gives you the opportunity to get those wins, to say, okay, I got their attention now.
Yeah.
You see? And so it's all of those things, just like you said, give you an opportunity to overcome the self-doubt by the power of your testimony. You overcome by the power. Y'all don't know. See, listen, that people think that all what you're overcoming is the roadblocks and stumbling blocks that we put in our own way. See, those stumbling blocks are not really in your way. Nobody came and woke up this morning and said, I'm going to put a big boulder in front of your door. No, most of the time we do it ourselves.
Yep.
We do it ourselves, and we decide that technology is going to be too hard. We decide that our hair ain't right. And this ain't right. So I can't go live. I can't be on this and that. We decide our limitations. And so when you develop your own box, here's the thing that I have found, that nobody is going to come to save you. Like, nobody's going to come knock on your door and be like, excuse me, aren't you supposed to be starting a business?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to knock on your door every day. Nobody's coming to shake you. And what happens, Coach Felicia, a lot of times, people will come, and God bless them. They're going to listen to your podcast. They're going to get blessed, and they're going to go back and do the same thing that they were getting ready to do. They're going to do the same thing every day. They're going to fall into self-doubt circles and cycles. And I'm sure that you talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, right? When you are making moves in your life and you have people watching, witnessing, you don't have the luxury of going back into the box. That's not really an option for you, but we live our lives as if that is an option. I'm gonna go back into my box. Today, I'm not gonna go live today. I don't know. I don't feel like it. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna open my computer today. I don't know. I just don't. You see, you feel like you have an option, but see, when you are called according to His purpose, that is not good enough for you. You can't sleep in that box.
Yeah.
The box is no longer comfortable for you. It's no longer a place where you feel, satisfied. It's no longer, so you can't sleep. You can't be tossing and turning. You wake up in the morning. That's the first thing you think about. You go to sleep at night. See, this podcast and what you're doing, this ain't for people who just want to stay on the hamster wheel of self-doubt. It's not for them people. It's for the people who say, you know what, I got self-doubt, but you know what? I'm getting ready to step. I'm going to put one pinky toe out this box today. And tomorrow I'm going to put another pinky toe. And guess what? While I'm doing it, guess what? I got eyeballs on me.
Yeah.
I'm encouraging somebody. I'm inspiring somebody. Somebody is looking to see how I got out of my box so they can get out of their box.
Man.
And I have a personal responsibility now to get out this box.
Listen, y'all, if you did not hear her, I'm gonna need you to rewind right now, go back and listen to everything she just said, because Kat just preached the whole word this morning, y'all. She literally preached the whole word. And I just got to thank you for that. In this moment, I need to thank you for that, because that is, it's what we all need to hear. The fact of the matter is, you're right. You're making a choice to stay in that box every single time that you say, oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. Or I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait till later. Instead of, like you said, setting yourself up to win, just do it and this is the reason why when God gave me slaying self-doubt, I did not understand what it meant in the beginning. It wasn't until 2021 that I realized, oh, we're slaying. That's an action. Yeah. We're going through because it's going to continue to show up. And so it's not a one-time thing. It's a continuous thing. It's going to keep coming in different ways. And every time you level up, every time you walk closer and further, something else in you, something else that the enemy's going to, the easiest little thing that he going to know that's going to be able to distract you, that's going to come up. Once you identify that and you know what it is, then you want to look out for it, so you can be like, not today. We going live anyway. Not today. We going to make this call anyway. Not today. I'm going to send this email anyway. So
that's it.
Man, that's it. That is, whew.
And can I be honest with you? Can I tell you true, Coach Felicia? We all have something, we all have thorns in our side, right?
Yeah.
No matter where we go, no matter how far we get in life. And I'm gonna tell you one of mine, right? And it's so embarrassing, but I'm gonna say it. So I still have issues looking at my bank account. Now, I'm gonna tell you why it's important, because I still don't like looking at it. I still don't like looking at the numbers in it. It still makes me squeamish. It still makes me cringe. And I got more money in my bank account than I've ever had in my entire life that I would have thought about having. But that's not the point. The point is not the reality. The point is the vain imaginations that we have to cast down every single day.
Yeah.
Like having, my husband, over the years, I've gotten better at it. But especially in the early years when I was working on my business, I would say, okay, I don't even want to know how much is in the bank.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know how much is in there. I don't even want to know. And then he would just be like, okay. And then I'd be doing something in the kitchen. Next thing I know, I turn around, he got a piece of paper standing up with the number on. I'd be like, what's the number? And I'd be like, oh, is that the number? He's like, yes, calm down, ma'am. Okay. And it's these self-doubt, these limiting beliefs, this fear, this fake fear, false evidence appearing real. It is not real.
It
is not real. And even to this day, we got accountants and CPAs and all these people now, but I still force myself to look at the thing that when I was in my 20s and early 30s, that scared me, because the worst thing I could be was broke and having to have roommates and the car breakdown. Listen, I remember not being able to afford to get my car registered, and I remember printing out a fake color registration thing and putting it on my license. I don't think I have ever told anybody that. Oh my God. But I remember that because I didn't have money to register my car and I was scared I was going to get pulled over. And I remember these things, and it was frightening, and it's scary to not have money.
Yes.
And whatever our however we grew up thinking about money and those sorts of things. And now it's like, why are you still like, I still get a little, like, now I meet with my accountant and I say, I'm always like, at the beginning of the meeting, I'm always like, looking around, and she's like, it's okay, Kat. Like, you're good. And I'm like, we good? And she's like, you're good. Let me show you. And by the end, we're laughing and talking. But see, I bring that up to say this, that whatever the thorn is that's in your side, it might not be that for you. It might be something else. But whatever it is, when you face it, no matter how scary and intimidating, just know that while the feeling is real, it is not real.
Yeah.
It is vain imaginations trying to take over and consume you to paralyzation, to where you You are paralyzed. So what I do is I set up myself to where I have to face that demon every day. So I have notifications set up on my phone to tell me what my balance is every day, so that no matter, even if I'm not thinking about it, it's automatically like in my face. I'm like,
yes.
And then I face it, even though and that is for somebody who is afraid to face something.
No. Yeah. No, yeah, that was that. And what you saying that again is like knowing that we all have our own thorn, we all have our thing. I've shared this with my audience before, that one of my biggest things was the fact that I suffered Bell's palsy 3 different times. And when God gave me this, I kept saying, well, I can't do this because, you know, I got a whole crooked face. This is not this is not my thing. But the moment it took me a while, right? It took me a very long time. It took me legit 18 years to get to a point where I like the fear of what I thought was going to happen for me to say my purpose was greater for that, for me to actually do it. And so now it's still a thing, right? Like my face is not straight, right? Like, because we ask God to just take it away, or we ask him to heal it, so then we can do the next thing. And so for me, it is my daily reminder that I still have to do this in spite of. And some people, that is part of my self-doubt. That is a part of my insecurity. And I still show up every day. I still make, I got to the point where I make videos, I take pictures, I can go live, I can do those things. And I know that it's still there. I still have Bell's palsy. It is still a thing, but I'm taking it with me. I'm taking that with we going today. Come on, let's go. We going to wear. Before I was hiding. And so just like what you're saying, you can't hide it. It's there. That's your thing. That's your reminder of why you need somebody greater than you. Because if you could do it in your own strength, you wouldn't have the self-doubt. You wouldn't have the angst. You wouldn't be trying to go back into that box. But if you rely on his strength and on what he's giving you, you will continue to show up. That's how you witness. And that's how people see you, how you walk out in your testimony. So yeah, that was a word for somebody today.
Well, that is so beautiful. I would have never known you had Bell's palsy.
Which is what everybody says. No one knows. Like unless you knew me before I had it, you could probably tell. But anybody who knows me afterwards, as it's regular, right? It's just a regular thing. And even the people who knew before will be like, I forgot. Because it's not your thorn. It's mine.
That's right. And you know, it's so amazing what you're saying, like the physicality. So what you don't know, Coach Felicia, because we just met, is that what you see now, and your audience can't see it because this is audio only, thank goodness. But I am 100 pounds lighter than I was just a year ago.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. You know, I will take that. Thank you. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I bought my 100 pounds off.
It don't matter. It's yours.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. I say that to say that some people say who knew me 100 pounds ago, right, will say, well, Kat, you look amazing. You can do that. You can do, because not only did I lose the weight, I bought that. Okay. So I decided I was going to do weight loss surgery. I did that. And then after that, I decided I was going to get a mommy makeover.
Okay.
So I got a tummy tuck, breast lift, liposuction. I let them tuck suck.
Let's go.
And let's go. Right. And so for me, I'm still in my mind. I totally relate to what you're saying about the Bell's palsy, because in my mind, I still am about 100 pounds heavier than I was. In my mind.
Yeah.
In my mind. And I'm going out with my image consultant. In fact, just this past weekend. And she had all these clothes laid out for me that she wanted me to try on and stuff. I was like, who's gonna wear them little ass clothes? Like, who's gonna put on these clothes? Like in my mind, I'm thinking these are not gonna work. Like, and I was dead serious in my soul, but it's like I saying it out loud, here I was not even a year and a half ago, a size 16, 18, and she got clothes that look like it's for my daughter's baby dolls. I'm like, these are size 4. Who's going to wear these? This is a 2. Who's going to wear this? And literally I stood there in tears because of my mind playing tricks on me, and our minds can wreak all kind of havoc.
Yeah.
That's why the Bible talks so much about thinking and thoughts, right? And controlling your thoughts and your thinking. And I'm like, I'm still in my mind, almost 230 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my mind. And so as you are taking steps toward the purpose that you have in your life, you have to be mindful of the mind and how the enemy can really wreak havoc on our purpose just through our mind.
Yes.
And so you have to be very, very protective of your mind, and very and when I say protective of your mind, be protective of what goes into your spirit, right? But be careful of what people are saying to you. Be careful of how you interpret it. Be careful of what you say out of your mouth about yourself, right? You got to be really careful about those things, because when you are in such a new and fragile state, and when I say new and fragile, you just coming out the box, just like you're being born again, right? So just like, see me, I'm from the old school. I don't believe in taking babies out before 6 weeks. I'm old school, okay? I don't believe in all that. Now these young kids, they be at the mall, at the grocery store.
No. Right.
New, okay? But okay. But it's just kind of the same thing for you. And you are coming out and walking into you got to be really careful about what you're exposed to and what's around you, right? So you don't get infected with all of this, self-doubt, and these people and these naysayers and haters and people who are, side-eye you with what you're doing, and even their silence can be deafening. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful of even the silence, you know what I'm saying? And trying to get approval and validation from people who aren't meant to be even around you at that stage. They don't understand what I'm saying. I can't say no more.
Oh my, y'all. You don't understand. It is so. This is why I love what I do, right? I said in the beginning of this, I enjoy this is what I get to do, because when I tell you that God is intentional, he is intentional with the people that he connects me with. Amen. He is intentional about who he wants me to share with and be able to use it, because this is his platform. It ain't mine. Absolutely. He's the one who told me, you're going to start putting women on here to share their stories. And I was just like, you want me to do what now? You want people to come on here and share what? Like, are they going, and I'm always like, okay, God, these people have to be transparent. They have to be open. They have to be willing, because that's the only way that people get delivered. That's the only way that people believe that this is what's happening. Because if you come with the cookie cutter of like, okay, this is how you do it, and you just do it in these 4 easy steps, and it's like, no, I need the real deal, the practical stuff, and that is what you are giving us today. Like, this is the so I have to thank you for sharing, and like, I'm literally over here just like, I'm gonna just let her preach the rest of this episode. But so I gotta ask these next 2 questions. So what have you learned about yourself during this journey that you did not know before?
What I didn't know before.
Y'all know the story. This podcast was an assignment from God that had my self-doubt and limiting beliefs telling me that nobody would listen. But you, yes, you, kept showing up every week to listen to this podcast. And because you keep showing up, so do I. If you enjoy this podcast and would love to support me and future episodes, please consider making a donation by simply purchasing me a coffee. If you would like to donate, click the Buy Me a Coffee link. Now, back to the show. It's okay.
What I didn't know before is the extent of how God would come to use me in my life.
Mm.
I had no idea. When I first put that course out all those years ago, I had no idea that I would make any more money than what I had ever made in my life.
Mm.
I had no idea that I would employ people from all around the world, clients from all around the world on 3 and 4 continents, different time zones, that I would be running $1 million a year business.
Mm.
And I'm gonna tell you, Coach Felicia, when I go on interviews and TV and things like that, and people ask me, how did you do this? Because you're not supposed to be able to do this.
Mm. Mm.
You ain't got no rich uncle somewhere. You didn't inherit a bunch of money. You just regular.
Mm.
And you have all these things playing against you. You Black, you female, you just regular.
Yeah.
If you allow God to guide you, even through the ups and downs, and there have been many.
Mm-hmm.
You will be taken to places in your life that you never dreamed of,
Yeah.
that you don't have the ability to imagine. And I am so excited about not just where we've been, but where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could share one thing with your audience, Coach Felicia, that I have learned that has really come front and center for me in this journey, it is you don't have time
Mm.
to waste doubting, fearing,
Yeah.
being stuck,
Mm.
procrastination, feeling you don't have the time nor the right to quit.
Mm.
And if you stop giving yourself a plan B in your life. The only plan is the plan God has for you.
Yeah.
That's the only plan to pursue. So if I have learned anything that I didn't know before, it is, and I really didn't know this, Coach Felicia. See, we theoretically, we intellectually understand that if we walk by faith, see, we can read it, but have you given yourself a chance to live it? So that you don't just think it theoretically, but you know it. So you can speak from knowledge, from what you know. See, I know that faith comes by hearing and hearing. See, I know.
Yeah.
I know. See, I know that if I seek ye first the kingdom and all these things. See, I know this.
Yeah.
And I want your audience to give yourselves a chance in your life to walk more abundantly, to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. This I know.
Kat, this is not how I expected this morning to go, but God knew. He knew. He knew this is what needed to be said today. He knew this is what needed to be shared. He knew that every person who will listen to this episode needed to know that. They needed to know that they have to know it for themselves. You can listen to sermons, you can go to church, you can listen to music, you can listen to this podcast, but unless you are walking it out for yourself,
my God,
you don't have the capacity to understand how it really works. And one of the things that you said that I actually told a client last week was, what is it costing you to stay where you are? What is it costing you to doubt every moment? What is it costing? It ain't doing nothing, but you know what's going to happen if you stay here. You just going to worry. You're going to procrastinate. You're going to put, we already know that. But what if you did it differently? If it's costing you your peace, if it's costing you time, you just said, we don't have the time. If we didn't learn anything from the panorama, is that in an instant, the same way that can happen is the same thing in an instant. God can bless you.
My God.
Suddenly, the word says it plenty of times. Suddenly, anything can change. And what you said was, which I think is for me, definitely, again, just like I said, doing this is, the Lord knows what he be doing with me. But continued confirmation of that. Trust in him. It sounds good. It sounds real. It sounds good. It sounds really good. I did a series in June of 2020 about obedience. And the hearing part was easy, right? Because that's easy to listen. It was the trust, the surrender, and the submission. Like those are the things, those are actions, right? Those are daily actions that we have to do. And when you're walking in purpose, that surrendering piece of literally saying, I remove myself and I'm just going to allow him to be able, like you said, to what it looks like to walk in faith. And this is your reward. where you are sitting right now, what you have done in what you can look back and say, had I just stayed where I was in 2015 with my limitations, I'd still be on the third floor.
Still would.
On the third floor, in my comfort and in my doubt and in the wondering of what would have happened. Instead, 6 years later, you can say, I got off the third floor and look what more, the abundance that I have now.
It's almost surreal. It is insane. And I say, well, Lord, just use me use my story for your purpose.
Yeah.
Use it for your purpose. Use it for your for whatever you want to use it for. If I can encourage anybody to get up, be curious about your own life and what it can be, and stop wasting time. You see this picture right here on my desk? You see this young lady right here? She died 2 weeks ago. No, you know what? It seems like just yesterday, but it'll be a month ago. It'll be a month, 2 days from now. We started together in my business almost 8 years ago. And she passed away. Now it'll be a month in 2 days. She died October 4th. And I bring her up and I sit her on my desk as a reminder. COVID complications. She was in the hospital on Thursday and she was gone by Sunday.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And honey, let me tell you something. I keep her right here as a reminder that I don't have the luxury, the time, the arrogance to believe that I don't have to if I don't want to. Who said that you get to say, I don't want to? How dare you? How dare you turn your back on what you are purposed to do? The fact that you even got a purpose.
Yeah.
The fact that God Almighty smiled on you. And of all the people that could have been born with a purpose, you.
Yeah.
So I hope, Coach Felicia, I know that this message is not for everybody. And I know that your podcast is not for everybody. I know it's not for everybody. It's not. But for those who have an eye to see and an ear to hear, I pray that they hear you.
Yeah.
They hear your heart. They hear what God is saying and doing through you. I hope and pray that they do for their sake. For the sake of those they are called to serve.
Yes.
Because should they turn their back on it, let me tell you something. God cannot lie. He gonna do it with or without you.
Yeah. Listen.
Okay.
It's gonna happen.
It's what? With or without you. But see, without you, you don't want to go down that pathway.
Yeah. No thanks.
That you don't. No, thank you. No, thank you. I will take my chances out here on social media. Give me that phone. What I got to do?
Right.
What? Say no to God? No, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. I'm not. No, we're not doing that.
No, not at
No, I know
all.
better than that. I know better than that. I know better than that. I'm not. All I gotta do is go live. Oh, okay. All right, I'll do that. But say no to God, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
You can't get me. You can't get me to do that.
Yeah.
Because I knows better.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, I'm excited for what you are doing. I'm excited for all of the people who are going to move forward in their life. I'm excited for all of those people who are going to have a testimony
Yeah.
because they decided to win. It's a beautiful, beautiful process. And I am so grateful that you have allowed me to play a small part in it this morning, today. I'm grateful, I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I just want to thank you for that.
You are so welcome. I listen, like I said at the beginning of this, prior to us pressing record, I said these are the questions. But it's gonna go however the Lord wants it to go. I don't even. There are times where I'm like, okay, we're gonna stick to these questions, and there's other times where the Lord is say, we're gonna stop right here, and we gonna let this play on. And I knew I was like, okay, God, we going to church this morning? Okay, we got time. Like, let's just go ahead and let's do it. And the like I said, the fact of it is that this isn't mine. This is me being on assignment. I understand that now. And like you said, being in disobedience, I've been disobedient before. I don't want to go down there.
Nice.
It's not nice. So I'd rather be obedient, and I'd rather stay on assignment, because I don't know who's listening to this on the other end, but I do know that there are people connected to me. And Absolutely. I understand that my obedience is connected to their obedience. And so when I do my work, whoever is supposed to listen to this at whatever time, it may not be now, it may be 5 years from now. But when they hear this word and they hear this podcast, and it may move them. So my job and our job is not to be when you keep the people you are assigned to in mind, you will keep going. Because if I focus on me, I don't want to do this every day. I don't want to, like you said, I do have a choice. And there are times where I selfishly choose me. And I'll be like, well, Lord, can I do it later? Can I do it? What about tomorrow? Can I reschedule this till tomorrow?
Right.
But it's supposed to happen today, because whatever's supposed to happen next, like you said, his plan is going to happen with or without you, right? If the thing about it is that you could have shared this whole story somewhere else, but God said, here, this is where you're gonna do it at. This is where you're gonna show up. This is where you're gonna say, I've never told anybody that I made a make-believe sticker for my car.
Think I have ever told anybody that.
But that's the whole purpose of this, right? For people to see the realness of us, to be able to recognize that it's not all glitz and glam. It's not all perfect. There's some dark days. There's some things that we had to go through. And it's nothing but the grace of God that gets us here, right? And so when you recognize that whatever you're going through in this season, you know that the greater is in store. Even if there's some hiccups or some things, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's a part of your testimony. It's a part of your story. It is still a part of the assignment. So don't let that thing, whatever that discomfort is, whatever that season, if it's not a good, whatever it is, don't let that stop you from pursuing the next thing and staying on assignment. And so I thank you for sharing your story, because it definitely was, it touched my heart. It was beneficial to me. And like I said, I know God is intentional with me every single time, every single day. And, especially with this podcast. So before we go, I do have to ask about Kat, the Coursebuilder, and all those things. So let's talk about it. What is it? So after you figured it out, you went to Periscope and you sold those 11 courses. How do we get here? So what are the things that you offer? Tell us all about Kat, the Coursebuilder.
Sure. So now Kat, the Coursebuilder is, we just got our S Corp designation.
Yes.
So we had a different tax bracket yet again. I'm super excited
I know
about
that's
that.
right. Look at God.
We are a full service course building and marketing agency. So
Okay.
what does that mean? That means that we help with everything from content development to course automation and all the tech stuff. And we help with marketing so that you can actually sell that course. And we didn't actually start out that way as an agency, but we grew to be an agency just because of the need that so many people have with wanting to do this in all the pieces and putting it all together. So that's how we help. So if you're putting together a course, you don't know how to get it out of your head, we are real instructional designers. We don't play them on TV. We actually do this and have master's degrees and all that kind of stuff and how to do that. And so, and that's what we do. We do all the tech stuff and automate it so that you can have that time freedom. So all of those things that I was wanting in my life back then, somebody to help me with this social media tech stuff. I didn't get it, right? And so now we do all the tech stuff for our clients so they don't have to try to figure it out, right? And that came out of my own pain of not being able to figure out the tech.
Yeah.
Right. And so most of our clients are in that Gen X or lightweight baby boomer age. So we do that. And then we help them with the marketing piece so they can actually sell it. And so it's amazing. It is amazing what we do. And yeah, I couldn't be more proud. So yeah, we got over 20 team members. I think we're at 22 now. And so I'm just excited for our clients and what they've been able to do. Like Shay Cunningham. Shay came to us. Shay started from zero. She's a image consultant. She's a personal stylist. And Shay was like, listen, I got a gift, but I don't know how to turn it into money. Like I know how to do this, but how do I don't know. And she was just like, listen, I just got to, she said, I've been low grade stalking you for some years now and I'm ready. I just need to know what to do. And so we took her from literally zero, nobody following her, nobody knew her. Now she's got almost 2,000 people in her Slay Society. When we first launched her course, she made $13,000 in about 13 days.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what makes me excited. That's what gets me going every day. And now she was able to quit her job within 18 months.
Yes.
Done. She now does this full time in her business. And that's what we do. We help change lives, the trajectory of lives and families so that she can now be a more present wife, a more present mother, feeling good about her life and excited about her clients and all this kind of stuff. It's just a beautiful thing to watch her and all of our other clients just grow and blossom.
Yeah, man, that is awesome. Especially so, even as how you started your story, it's crazy. It's not. It again, God is intentional, right? How everything just falls full circle, right? And you're able to give all of these clients what you needed and what you didn't even know you wanted to do in the first place. But God knows that this is what you were creating for, and especially in this generation and then like in this day and age, like where we are now, you see courses popping up all over the place, and you was at the beginning of that. Like you were the start of it before it even became a thing, right? And so we never know. Like I think I'm just always amazed about how like you don't know how God's going to use you. You don't know how it's going to come up. And like you said, to be able to create the life that you want for yourself just by being faithful and just by trusting and walking with him every step of the way, just it's so much better than fighting the process. It
is so much better. Listen, I can't even tell you, listen, the truth of the matter is that I can tell you 3 times specifically, clearly, that I remember in my mind going to my husband and telling him, I'm done. I quit. I'm done with this thing, this business thing. Listen, I am, you know what? It's all good. I'm gonna I've started looking for jobs. I'm dusting off my resume. My girlfriend does HR. She's helping me with my resume and this, that, and the other, because I just don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I can't. It's too much. I've done, and thankfully, my husband didn't let me, he let me cry. He let me whine. He let me quit in my mind.
Yeah.
And then he said, okay, baby, you good? No, I'm not good. I need me a job. I just want to clock in and clock out like everybody else. And then I'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when you think about the alternative to following your purpose, how's that going to work for you?
Yeah.
How's the alternative going to work?
You putting yourself, like you said earlier, you putting yourself back in the box. But shout out to all the husbands who are holding us down and who are letting us cry. You know how many times my husband has been like, just yesterday you was crying, and I'm like, I know that's how I was yesterday. But it just in having that support and having somebody to be able to tell you, I want you to see this all the way through. I want you to have no regrets about it. No matter what the outcome is, I want you to have no regrets. And that is what, for my every day, I'm like, okay, I get to do this. I get to do this because I have his support. I get to do this because he believes in me believing in my assignment, right? It ain't his. It's he like, okay, you know.
Don't even get it for real.
Not even
in a
sure.
lot of cases. So I'm grateful. Like you said, shout out to the real true husbands out there, because I have real life quit on my on this at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Where boohoo, broke down. I can't do it no more. Let's liquidate and be on to the next thing.
Just move on to the next day.
Let's move on to the next thing. I don't want to do this. I don't want to hear nobody else's problems. I don't want to try to figure. I don't want to do nothing. Okay. And, and my husband, I thank God that he didn't allow me to wallow in that, that he didn't allow me to fall into the quit trap. The trap of, I'm gonna go to something that's more secure, that's safer, that's this, that's that. And the safest place to be is in the arms of God. The safest place to be is in his purpose. See, the safest place is being obedient. The safest place is what we're looking for all these other things to try to make us feel safe. I don't want nobody coming to me. I don't want no more problems. I don't want the responsibility. I don't want that mantle. It's too heavy. It's too, let me just go to somebody's job. Let somebody else make the decisions. Let somebody else tell me what to do. Because somebody tell me what to do. I just want somebody to tell me what to do, but that's not what you was meant for.
Yeah.
You built for this. You built for more. You built for it.
Yes.
So you got to walk in it, and you were talking about hiccups. I'm going to tell you one thing about hiccups. There's a trick that an old lady taught me some years ago about hiccups. If you ever had the hiccups and can't get rid of hiccups, she said, I'm going to teach you how to get rid of hiccups. And I promise you, it works every single time. If you ever had a hiccups, child or adult, what you're going to do is you're going to take some water, and you need another person. And as you drink the water, they're going to call your name. And when they call your name, you answer with just a sound. You don't even have to say a word. Just say, So you drink, and they say, Felicia. Answer, Felicia. Drink that water. Felicia. 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 Felicia.
Oh, listen.
Y'all don't hear me.
Y'all have no idea.
As your name is called, and you drink the living water at the same time, and you answer Sometimes we don't even have the words. We just have the utterance. But if you're willing to just answer when your name is called, my God, the hiccups go away. And I promise you, it works every single time. It is real life. And now you will always know how to get rid of hiccups. Not only real hiccups in your chest, but hiccups along the pathway.
Man. Kat, I done say this about 4 times today, but when I tell you this is legit not what I was expecting coming into this, I just again, the Lord is intentional. I just thank you for sharing your journey. I thank you for your encouragement. I thank you for being here. Like this right here, again, God is intentional. He knew exactly what we needed to hear. He knew exactly what needed to be shared this morning between us. And I just in this time of meeting you, I am grateful. I am grateful to know you, right? I am grateful. And so
well, we sisters now.
I know. So how can people connect with you if they want to get connected to the Coursebuilder?
All they have to do, there's 2 ways. You can go right on over to our website, katthecoursebuilder.com, Kat with a Katthe, Coursebuilder, just like it sounds. Or you can join us over in our free Facebook group. It's called Make Your Brilliance Your Business.
Yes. Thank you so much, Kat. I am, again, we are connected now. I am appreciative of you being here again, sharing your story and just being a part of the Slaying Self-Doubt family.
I love it. I'm grateful to be here. I'm honored. And so, hey, anything you need, let me know.
Thank you so much. All right, y'all, that's all for this week. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to share, subscribe, rate, and review. Remember to head over to Facebook and Instagram and follow me at Slaying Self-Doubt. Oh, wait, don't forget, go to my YouTube channel and watch this episode, and remember to press the subscribe button. Until next week, see ya.